Chicago, springtime is finally knocking on your door. The snow and ice may be gone, but are you ready to step out in style yet? It's time to make over your ride at your local Chevy dealer, where you'll find the true glam team of SUVs. If you're thinking about springing forward into a new Chevy, you're not alone. The right vehicle makes all the difference when it comes to safety, confidence, and comfort on the road. You saw the Chevy lineup at the auto show. Now it's time to see which one puts the spring in your step. Need the power and durability of a Silverado, the all-weather confidence of an Equinox or Blazer, the spacious comfort of a Traverse, Tahoe, or Suburban, or the sporty, city-friendly Trax? Your local Chevy dealer has exactly what you need to shine like the new spring sun. So don't wait. Head to ChevyDriveChicago.com today. Browse the newest models, special offers, locate your nearest Chevy dealer, and start shopping online. Things are warming up out there, and you need a vehicle you can trust. Find yours now at ChevyDriveChicago.com. Chevy, together, let's drive.
Are you proposing to me? And he's like, yes. I'm like, oh God, I think I need to go back in the other room. So I go back in the other room, and at the end of that walkway, I hadn't noticed there was a small table and a sparkly pink box sitting on the table. And so I'm like in shock, but I look up and there's this lit up neon sign that says, "Will you marry me?" Oh my God, Aww. This is really happening.
Welcome to Secrets of a Sugar Daddy. Here's your host, Marcus.
Welcome to another episode of Secrets of a Sugar Daddy, the number one sugar dating podcast in the world, where we pull back the curtains on the good and the bad. And Lily,
the love-filled stories
yes,
of sugar dating.
And the shocking stories of sugar dating. Man, we're going to get into some shocking stuff. But first, the party is coming up really quick. We're not going to beat this up too much because you had to have heard about it, but Sugarpalooza 6 is almost here. We are doing the selection process now. If we haven't contacted you yet, just be patient. It's taken me a while to go through all the applications, but we've got quite a bit of space that we've secured, and it's just a matter of coordinating everything. But if you want more information on that, go to the website, secretsofasugardaddy.com, press the party tab. You will see all the information. 3 days, 2 nights in Scottsdale, Arizona. We got a mixer. We got a pre-parties. We got a party bus, suites, all you can eat, all you can drink. It's going to be a great time. There you go. That's it. Now,
plus we'll be there.
We'll be there. That's true. Come party with the crew and friends of this podcast. Now, if you are a Patreon member, you do get priority judging, and it's free to become a Patreon member. It's a lot of fun. The community chat's great. People go in there, they introduce themselves, and they put scenarios. And if you want to get hooked up with the girls chat, we have a separate WhatsApp chat. Now, you have to be a Patreon member to get into that chat. Like I said, it's free. Well, I guess you'd have to sign up for the $10 a month one, or they can't go to the community chat. You go in the community chat, ask to be put onto it, and then Lily will add you. And the reason I bring that up, Lily, is because somebody today, I read a message.
Asked
Did
to
you
be
see
added?
it? Yeah, they asked to be on the girls chat. I don't know how many girls are on the chat, but it gets pretty good from what I hear. Probably.
We have a lot. I'm going to say around 40.
You guys cleaned it up a little bit.
Yeah.
But there are all kinds of great scenarios, advice, situations that are discussed in there, questions. It's great. And you can also do those on our community chat on Patreon. So we have tiers that, like I said, start at only $10 a month, and then they go up from there, include coaching and profile reviews. It's our fan club page. It helps support the show. Lily doesn't do this for free. I'm just breaking the news right now. Anyway.
News alert. News flash.
So there's a lot of cost involved. We'd appreciate you helping us out. Okay.
We've got 45 sugar baby strong in our group
on that WhatsApp group chat. Okay. Mm-hmm. So yeah, if you want to be a part of that, message us in the community chat, or you can direct message us, once you become a Patreon member, and then we'll get you set up. All right. Besides the party coming up, some big things happened in the Big Apple. So Lily, as you know, Lily has been, she's kissed a few frogs. And she's been on and off the site for 3 years.
Yeah.
Coming up on 3 years.
Yeah.
And you've had some interesting relationships. A couple people, well, actually, you moved in with one, and then others wanted you to move in.
Right.
And you finally found a guy that you really, really vibed with. And here you guys have been dating for 2 years, and he took you to New York City for 5 plays in 5 days. Alejandra and I went, and welcome Alejandra. She joined us in the studio today.
Hello.
And we're going to talk about that trip and some other things if we can get to those. But what an amazing, amazing trip.
Yeah, I'm still on cloud 9. It just seemed like a surreal whirlwind of fun and frivolity and surprise things that I had no idea about. And I'm just telling you, Trucker is an amazing guy. He is a keeper. I wish there were more truckers out there for these girls to know how they should be treated.
Now, you found him on a sugar daddy site. Now, he got on there because he didn't really know where else to go. I mean, he told you right in the beginning, I'm not going to be on here long because I really am looking for someone.
Yeah.
You know, our little clip that Fargo did, and actually it's the clip of just me talking about what sugar daddies spend and some allowances and things like that. And I get so many negative comments. Matter of fact, that thing just hit over 1 million views. So I go in there, and they say never read the comments, right? But I started reading
first.
them.
I don't anymore.
Oh my God, they're so brutal. They call you pathetic. They call you a loser. They call you,
Simp.
you know, you should die. I mean, there's people like literally wishing death on us. It's the weirdest thing.
Did they wish me dead?
No, just the sugar daddies, because we're ruining it for the regular guys. But the problem is, we can't get through the noise to get to people.
Yeah.
For the most part.
That's exactly what Trucker said. He said, I kind of felt like I couldn't utilize traditional dating sites because I don't present well. And so he felt like he needed to dangle the carrot, what Marcus calls his cheat code, to get these women he was interested in by looking at their profiles to even agree to meet him. I mean, I'm thinking back. His profile wasn't well written. He had maybe 1 or 2 photos, and they weren't great photos. He is he's gotten much more comfortable with picture taking.
Yeah.
But when I first met him, I could hardly even get him to smile or pose for a photo. He hated to take pictures.
Yeah.
Now he's just all up in there.
Well, so you met him there and gave him an opportunity. You admittedly have said multiple times, I would have never swiped right on you on a traditional app.
Not just by reading his profile and looking at his photo.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is a good thing he was dangling a carrot, because I probably would not have even done a meet and greet if he had not been.
Right. So that is why, for all you people that call us pathetic losers, can't get a woman, we're a bunch of beta simps. Okay, first of all, fuck you. Because I don't really care what you say. I know the truth. And I know exactly why I got on there, and I know exactly why most men get on there, is because we're too busy. I don't have time to be chasing a random girls at bars with unknown statuses. They have little to no information about me. They're just going based on who's this creepy guy trying to start a conversation with me. That's how I feel. Now, in their head, it may be different, but that's the feeling I get when I do that. So I would rather not go down that road. I'm not that comfortable. Maybe I could get comfortable in the future with lots of practice and lots of work, and I don't have time for this. I'm running companies. I'm trying to earn money. I'm trying to support my people, my women, and whatever, right? So it's just a great, great avenue for me to find dates. And we're so happy that you found Trucker in that manner. And it's so funny how it all came about. Since I do have Alejandra here, and we got a lot of new listeners too, like our numbers are up. Probably 30%, which
Really?
is, oh yeah. I'm looking at the stats, and we definitely have had an increase. I don't know if it was because of the Fargo interview or just people are finding our podcast now. There's a lot of people that tell me, oh, I tell everybody about it, which is tough because people don't like to admit that they are interested in this lifestyle or that they do this lifestyle. They're like, oh, shh, you can't use my real name. You can't use my initials. You can't do this, blah, blah, blah. They just are so worried that people are going to find out.
And I can 100% relate to that.
Yeah.
Because there are people in my life that, well, I can sit here and say, I'm an adult woman. I can do what I want. There are people in my life that could be negatively affected if people started passing judgment on me and bringing it to their attention. Some of the crazy topics that I've talked about as I've become a more sexually enlightened person in my latter years of life, some of the crazy experiences that I've talked about, it would be detrimental and cause, I believe, some rifts in some of my personal relationships where people to see me in that light instead of how they know me, my true person, my true self. I mean, your sexuality is only one part of who you are.
Right. Yeah, it's the whole stigma. And it's funny that, and we're not going to belabor this too much, but almost half the comments are, just call it what it is, it's prostitution. Well, we just went to New York City. There was sugar daddies and sugar babies there who actually slept in the same room and had zero sex, from what my understanding is. So is it all about sex? No.
Clearly not.
All right. So anyway, let's just get back to the trip. So you were there a week. You got there, I think, the night before we did. And Alejandra and I came and joined you. First of all, let's kind of explore. You were going to do 5 plays in 5 days. How was that experience?
Plus one bonus show that was awful.
Okay, well, let's talk about it.
But the pre-planned ones that I chose prior to the trip were amazing. People keep asking me, which was your favorite show? I cannot definitively say I had a favorite show.
They were just different.
Just every single one had an appeal of some sort. It would be so hard for me to rank them.
Okay, so people going to New York. Now, I've done the Broadway show thing once before, so this was the second time. I saw 3 shows the first time. We saw 2 this time. Give us a quick, what your thoughts were of the first one, which was Wicked.
Well, I had seen Wicked previously, and I had also seen the new movie. And I've loved every single production of that show that I've ever seen.
Did you like the play or the movie better? Different.
Again, so different, so different. There were things that I felt were superior about the movie because you could do things that you couldn't necessarily do on stage. And there's something superior about being there in the audience, experiencing it, almost feeling like you're right there, a part of it.
Yeah.
Just the spectacle and whatnot. So I'm going to have to say I like them equally. And this production, this newest one that I've seen, did not disappoint. It was good. I knew the story.
Yeah.
I still got emotional. I still had moments where I was like,
now
way they
Alejandra
portrayed the character was just so good.
Alejandra's never seen Wizard of Oz, but she's seen the movie Wicked, and now you've seen the play. What were your thoughts?
Oh, I loved it. It was my first play too.
First ever.
Yeah, first ever.
And
Loved.
Did you like the movie or the play better?
I'm there with Lily.
Yeah, could have gone either way.
Yes.
How about you, Marcus?
See, it was a strange ending for me. I'm not going to talk about the ending, but I didn't really see that coming, and it kind of it hurt because I didn't buy it. It didn't make sense to me, but that's just me.
Maybe you need to read the book.
Maybe. Okay, next one, Aladdin.
That would never happen.
Yeah, that will never happen. Okay, what were your thoughts of Aladdin?
It was fun. I took my grandson to it and he really loved it. I really loved it. It was kind of fun, lighthearted, had really good special effects and tricks that they did in there and magical elements that were really impressive with like appearances and disappearances. And I don't want to ruin it too much for anybody who's possibly planning on seeing it, but you will not be disappointed with the spectacle.
Yeah. Okay, next one was And Juliet.
Now, did you guys see?
What?
We didn't go to Aladdin.
Oh, you
No, our
didn't.
tickets got canceled.
That's right.
At the last
That's
minute.
Right. That's right.
We bought them through StubHub and the seller never delivered them. And then by that time it was sold out and we're like,
Yeah.
oh, I guess we're not going.
I forgot that part.
A little disappointed, but we managed to find something to do in New York City during that time.
Well, I'm a huge Shakespeare nerd. I say Shakespeare is my dead boyfriend because
Yeah, and you're talking about And Juliet.
I love his shit. And Juliet was about primarily the character of Juliet from Romeo and Juliet
'Cause
by
Romeo
William Shakespeare. In fact, there's a character who is Shakespeare, and his wife, Anne Hathaway, are both part of the characters in that play. And so I thought it was great.
I loved how they broke into song at the perfect moment that had something to do with the situation they were in.
It's a really creative storyline and
A lot of great
very
songs.
female oriented, women power.
Empowerment, yeah.
Yeah, I liked that too.
Alejandra?
Loved it. Oh, I was laughing and had a smile throughout the show.
Mm-hmm.
Loved it.
And Juliet. Okay, so here's a funny side fact on that one. You know, there's dancers, guy dancers, women dancers, or whatever. There was one that was kind of cute. Seemed like she was a little cuter than the others. And so I kept, seeing her. She did nothing but dance. Had no speaking roles, no nothing. But she had a cute outfit on. And so, of course, in my social media, I'm getting all these ads for these plays because I've done some research on them. And so they're popping up on my social media. And she comes on, I see her. She comes on one of my ads on Facebook and said, hey, this is so-and-so. And, come see our play and Juliet in Broadway, blah, 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 right? Well, her name was Charlie D'Amelio.
Mm-hmm. Very,
So I'm like,
very famous.
So I'm like, oh, what's the deal with this girl? So I Google her. $45 million is what she's worth, and she's 20 years old.
Wow.
So obviously dancing in a Broadway play is a side gig for her.
Yeah.
But she was like the number one TikTok girl in, I think it was 2022 or 23, somewhere around there. Made basically all of her money on TikTok.
Yep.
$45 million. And then here she is a dancer on Broadway.
Yeah.
Oh my
She's an amazing dancer.
No, great dancer. Unbelievable. Like you would have never known that she was a TikTok superstar. I just thought she was a really good dancer, probably auditioned for the role and got it because she was talented.
She is.
So that was kind of cool.
And
then
cute as a button.
Kimmy was there, and Kimmy missed the play. It was a goofy thing.
She was running late.
She was running late, ended up not going because she thought she was going to miss too much. But so then when I told her that Charlie D'Amelio was in the play, she was really kicking herself for not going because she's a big fan of hers. So that was kind of, I didn't even know. You didn't know, did you, Alejandra?
I had no idea.
No idea.
Until you brought it up.
I know, right? So that was kind of a cool thing. I mean, you walk down the streets and you see George Clooney starring in, what was the one he's starring in?
Good Luck and Good Night.
Something like that. So there's, you just never know who's going to be in these Broadway plays.
Yeah.
Kind of cool.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Listening to Secrets of a Sugar Daddy. Now back to the show with your host, Marcus.
Well, Alejandra and I had to leave, so we didn't get to experience the other ones, but then you went and saw Hell's Kitchen, I believe.
Oh my God. So good. That one was the biggest emotional roller coaster for me because
Really?
it deals with basically the relationship of a mother and a daughter and a single mother raising her daughter alone.
Oh.
And so just flashbacks of my mom raising us as a single parent and flashbacks of me raising my daughter. And so, yeah, that one was touching. I went through a lot of tissue on that one.
Well, that's kind of like the first time I went to New York City, I saw Jagged Little Pill, which was based on Alanis Morissette music. And they had developed a storyline about this perfect, everybody looks at this family and they're the perfect family, but then they really dive into the stories inside the family and they're a big mess. And I was crying the whole second half. I'm not a crier. How many times you see me cry, Alejandra?
Once.
Once?
Yes.
Oh. Anyway, I couldn't stop. The tears were just flowing on that second half of that play musical. So I get it.
Yeah, it was
Sometimes
so,
they're
and
emotional.
the vocals were amazing. And okay, it's based on who? Remind me. It's based on a very famous female singer.
Google that for us, because now
And it explored
Hell's Kitchen.
not only her relationship with her mom and her estranged father, but she had this incredible piano teacher. And that actress that played that role in this production, oh my God, she stole this show, and her vocals were amazing and her acting was impeccable. Everyone was so good, but she may have been one of my favorite characters of the entire week.
All right, did you find it, Alejandra?
What's the name of?
Hell's Kitchen. It's based on
A very famous singer whose name evades me currently.
yeah. Now, while she's looking that up, one of the things you experienced 5 plays. We'll get into the last one here in a minute.
Alicia Keys.
Yeah, Alicia Keys.
Okay, there you go.
And they called her Allie in the show, but it was based on her story.
There's really no bad seats in the house.
No.
It's amazing. If you're debating whether you should buy an expensive ticket,
And
and
the
actually the
orchestra in
ones
the
up front, the ones up front aren't the more expensive ones. It's the ones halfway back.
Yeah.
Because those are the best views. But it doesn't matter where you're at. They're great.
I love sitting in the mezzanine, so I'm kind of up above everything, and I feel like I can take it all in better because
Yeah.
you're further back but up high.
Okay. And then finally, one that I saw when I went in 2020, and you got to experience this play and know a little bit about the religion, as Book of Mormon.
That one was not what I was expecting. That was one of the more off the wall plays I've ever seen in my life. It was so over the top. It was crazy.
Yeah.
It was funny.
But you enjoyed it?
I did enjoy it.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, it was so, what is the word? Just everyone was like a caricature of what I know about Mormon missionaries and friends that I've had that have gone on Mormon missions. And I was like, oh God, they really went wild with this storyline, didn't they?
Right. Okay. And then we did like one little bonus, kind of an interactive play, I guess you would call it.
Worst waste of money of my
Okay.
life.
Well, for some people that might be true. It's called Life and Times.
Life and Trust.
Life and Trust.
Yes.
Now,
There was another one prior to it that some people that I met on vacation had tried to turn me on to, and it was called Sleep No More.
okay.
And they loved Sleep No More. Now, we were messaging back and forth before I went to New York, and they said, well, that one's closed, but there's a new one called Life and Trust. We haven't seen it, but it's the same concept.
Yeah.
So I was really kind of excited to go to it because they had really raved about Sleep No More.
So let me set the scenario. There's a group of us. What was there? Probably about 10 of us or so.
Yeah, like 8 to 10.
And we jump on the subway up near Times Square.
Trucker's first time on the subway, and it was on his bucket list.
Yeah. And we go all the way downtown to Wall Street, basically. And we go in this old bank building, I guess it was. And it's a big building. It's, it's not like a bank building in a regular city. I mean, in New York, the cities just go up. I mean, the buildings just go up. So we go in this bank building. It's a little bit eerie, kind of dark, and you don't really know what you're in for. Then we go upstairs and there's a bar. We kind of have a drink. And then they're like, okay, if your group's ready, come this way. And we go in and they kind of set the scenario. And then they're like, okay, go explore at your own
We forgot
pace.
the masks.
Everybody has to wear a mask. Now, this is not like a COVID mask. This is an actual like Halloween type mask.
It reminded me of Eyes Wide Shut, where they would go to those masked events, kind of like that.
So it was a black mask, covered your whole face, and it had ears on it. It looked like rabbit ears. And everybody had the same exact mask on. So you differentiated who was actually the actors kind of running around the building versus people that are just observing
the audience.
And it was very voyeuristic. So what you're doing is you're following characters around, and it's like 4 stories, 4 levels of this building. You're going up and down these different rooms, and they had these rooms made up, and some of them felt like you were outdoors. Some of them felt like you were in a patio. Some felt like you were in a seedy bar.
a church.
Like they had these rooms that depicted different scenes of a movie, right?
There was a boxing arena.
Yeah, and these characters are running around and things are happening, and then like you'd have 2 or 3 characters, and all of a sudden they'd split up and go different directions, and like people are following different
It
characters
was like
different ways.
a choose your own adventure.
It was.
kind
Yes,
of
it
deal.
was.
Am I following this guy or am I following this chick?
And there was no speaking. None of the characters spoke, and then there was no speaking allowed by any of the people following. It was very strange.
It really was weird.
I've never done anything like that. So we're all very uncomfortable because, first of all, it's different, and we didn't know what the hell was going on. And we're following these characters. Now, Lilly and Trucker finally said, screw this, we're done. Where's the bar at? And they found their way back to the bar.
Which was closed.
Which was closed by the time they got there. But eventually, I mean, we're with Kimmy and Alejandra, and there are a couple other people, and we're all like, what do we do? And we're exploring different rooms. All of a sudden, there's nobody. Like, we're going through floors. There's not a single person on any of the floors. And we're like, where'd everybody go? And there's ushers there, and they have gold masks on. That's how you can tell that they're with the production. They have gold masks, and they're just kind of motioning us to go a certain direction, like cattle. Okay, go down this hall. Go. And all of a sudden, we ended up in this big room where everybody was, along with all the actors, and then they did this final kind of wrap up of what was going on. And then at the end,
But still no dialogue?
no dialogue.
none.
So at the end, everybody clapped, and then they did their bows like they do at a play, and then it was over.
So fucking weird.
I didn't understand the storyline.
No, I
anymore.
didn't. I didn't either. I guess you would say it's very artistic. It's interpretive dance almost.
Yeah, it was there was a bit of a storyline. It was
Yeah.
based on the 1920s stock market crash.
Yeah, 1929 crash of the stock market and
Yeah.
what happened to these families.
and how
But-
devastating it was. Yeah.
But so that was,
And they kept drinking this green elixir.
it's
Oh,
absinthe.
yes, that's right.
So that was kind of a little bonus thing that we did where we all walked away going, well,
What
So
was that?
only in New York City. Okay. Now, the building was really cool.
It was.
It was amazing. To me, all the fine details that they put into these buildings and the grandeur of the rooms. I mean, they built these things back in the 1800s, early 1900s. Unbelievable, the craftsmanship that they put into these.
There was a really famous restaurant right next to it. Was it Delmonico's?
I don't know.
I think it was.
So anyway, we got on the subway, headed back, and that was our Sunday night. So that was cool. 5 plays in 5 days. There's a wrap up.
There you go.
Okay, now let's get on to another big part of the trip.
The most
So-
important one.
Everybody was in on it except Lily.
That's true.
So Lily,
I don't know how I was kept in the dark either, because come to find out, there were dozens of people who knew that this was going to happen.
well, it was a lot of work put into it.
Yeah.
So Trucker thought, you know what? I think this is the time. It's her birthday. It's the biggest trip that they've probably taken together, where family and friends were going to experience it with them also. 5 plays in 5 days. Let's put her under contract.
Let's make it official.
Let's make it official. So tell us about that night, or that day. You guys went to the Aladdin
Yeah, we
with
had
your
just
family.
been to a matinee, and I had no idea that there was behind the scenes wheels turning for a proposal, and not just any proposal, the most elaborate magical proposal that a girl could ever hope for but never imagine. It was just over the top and very surreal, but I had no idea this was happening in the background. It's kind of a rainy day. We're walking back to our hotel from the play. We pop into the Disney store to buy something for the grandkids. We finally make it back to our room, and Trucker just leans in and gives me a kiss, tells me he loves me, and then he opens the door to our room, and there's a dude in our room. And I'm like, oh, wow, it's really decorated in here. And there's a dude making a video and taking photos as we walk in. So I'm like, he's just setting up this romantic night for us, and this guy's going to take photos, and I don't know what's going on. I truly don't. And then I'm just looking around, and there's flowers everywhere and candles and flower petals and a walkway, a big heart arch thing. And then I get distracted like a squirrel, because off to the side, there's a whole nother pathway of rosebuds, and something's on our bed. And I walk over, and it's a blanket with dozens of pictures of the two of us. And it says, Lily, marry me? ? Trucker. But of course it has our real names. And I'm like, are you proposing to me? And he's like, yes. I'm like, oh God, I think I need to go back in the other room. So I go back in the other room, and at the end of that walkway, I hadn't noticed there was a small table and a sparkly pink box sitting on the table. And so I'm like in shock, but I look up and there's this lit up neon sign that says, will you marry me? Oh my God, this is really happening. And so he popped the question. I think he was so caught up in being nervous that this came off without a hitch.
He was so nervous.
He didn't get on one knee or anything. He just asked me. And of course I said, absolutely, no question about it. Yes, I want to marry you. And then the photographer's like, do you want to get on a knee so I can get a photo of that? And he's like, oh yeah, I forgot. And so it was really nice though that the photographer was there, because we got everything documented, and then we invited everybody to come back in who all knew about it. I had no clue. And we did some toasts and took some photos, and congratulations were going around like wildfire and hugging. And yeah, it was amazing.
It was amazing. So Kimmy and Blue Eyed Princess spent hours in there putting the flowers up and the
I can't believe
and
they got it done in the space of...
Oh, they were scrambling.
They didn't have more than 3 hours, because
they were scrambling.
The play was at least 2.5 hours, and then us walking there and coming back. So it actually turned out to be a blessing in disguise that she was going to be late to the play. Or no, that
was a different day.
That was a different day. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. She wasn't planning on going to that one then. Yeah, that was a blessing that she was there to help Blue Eyed Princess.
So we had come over to the hotel, and we were sitting up at the bar. We saw you guys walking in with your family, and we're like, oh my God, there they are. So we're sitting at the bar, and then it was so fast. Maybe 10 minutes later,
Not even.
8 minutes later, we get, hey, come up and do some celebratory drinks. And we're like, and Blue Eyed Princess is like, it's done already? All that work, it is already over?
It doesn't take long to say,
I know.
will you marry me? And
Right.
hell yes, I will.
Yeah. So we all went up, had a great time celebrating their new engagement and potential marriage, or pending marriage, I guess. And it was magical.
It was.
It was.
The problem here,
So good.
Oh boy.
Alejandra is now beating me up saying, Trucker set the bar. So
Really
if
high.
if you're going to do
Very
this,
high.
Oh God.
Trucker set the bar. And I'm like, I can't reach that bar. He did the most incredible proposal. And the ring is unbelievable.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Oh gosh. There's so much more than that. Yeah, the ring is
Like he
the
was
ring
so
is
nice.
astounding.
He got us our makeup and hair.
Oh, that morning.
That was
So
so sweet.
Trucker paid 3 stylists to come in and do hair and makeup for the women.
Yeah.
And you guys were like, oh, okay. Well, thank you. You didn't really know why, but it was a nice gesture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was.
And then that night, he had reserved a private room at a steakhouse, really nice place. And he had a minimum on there. So we weren't even close to the minimum. So now he's ordering $800 bottles of champagne and wine and just whatever, trying to meet that minimum. But it was really good. The food was great.
Yeah.
The cakes.
The cakes.
Whoa.
Wow. Shout out to some bakery in New Jersey.
Oh, so let's talk about your boot cake.
Yeah, that was my favorite.
So Lily, as many of you know, loves to wear boots, and she loves shiny, glittery, sparkly clothing and boots. They had a cake there that was sparkle pink boots, completely made out of cake.
And not life size, bigger than life size. I mean, those boots were big enough for Marcus or Trucker to wear.
It was an
They were
amazing cake.
That was a lot of cake.
And then what was the other cake?
The other one was a cake with an engagement ring box on top of it.
Right.
And a spot where you could stick your ring and take a photo of it. It was really, really beautiful.
I
as
don't
well.
know what cakes like that cost, but it couldn't have been cheap.
Oh, it's so much. And
Yeah.
there, everything is way escalated in price. So I can only imagine
Yeah.
a cake here would probably be half the cost of what you would pay in New York City or Jersey.
So that was an absolute amazing night. One for the books, one to remember. I'm glad we got it on audio at least because it was just truly a spectacle. Now, your cake that he gave you, so that wasn't your actual birthday, but we kind of celebrated a birthday engagement dinner while your family was in town.
Yeah.
And then your actual birthday was 2 days later, and you had another unbelievable cake. We need to put a picture of that.
Yeah.
Have you put a picture of that on
no,
Patreon?
but I should.
That one's unbelievable.
I should.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
I've showed people, I was talking to somebody the other day and I was like, oh, let me go to her Instagram or Facebook or whatever. And I pulled up that cake. It to me is spectacular. It was
It was.
a cake which had the playbills of the 5 plays in the cake.
Yeah, it was stunning.
Yeah.
These cakes were so beautiful you didn't want to cut them and eat them.
Right.
But they were as delicious as they were beautiful.
Yeah.
So,
I think the boots were red velvet cake.
uh-huh.
Nice.
And then carrot cake for the engagement cake and then lemon cake for
Ooh,
the play bills.
like a good lemon cake.
Oh, it was so good.
Yeah.
You're listening to Secrets of a Sugar Daddy. Now back to the show with your host.
If you've been struggling with your weight, Mochi Health is here to help. Mochi Health is a long-term weight loss solution personalized to fit your unique needs and goals. Meet one-on-one with board-certified obesity doctors and registered dietitians who are on a mission to listen. Eligible patients can access custom-formulated GLP-1 medications at an affordable set price and get them delivered to their home each month. Take our free quiz at joinmochi.com and use code AUDIO40 at checkout for $40 off your first month of membership.
Marcus.
So anything else that stood out on that trip?
So many things.
Oh, you did breakfast at Tiffany's.
Oh, that's right.
How was that?
That building, that jewelry store is beautiful, and they have
Multiple
this
stories.
really pretty little cafe, and we had breakfast, the two of us, on my real birthday. That was really romantic. And Jay, our friend Jay, came and did a photo shoot of us that day there and in Central Park.
You were able to go to Central Park. You had the weather cooperated.
Oh, the weather was beautiful the day we went to Central Park.
Good.
And we did a horse-drawn carriage ride through Central Park.
I haven't seen those photos yet.
Very romantic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Somewhere there's a shared folder. Maybe you're not on the shared
Well, I
folder.
need to be on. I want to see them.
Yeah, there's so many. I haven't even had time to go through them all.
Yeah.
I'm kind of waiting for the other photographer that captured the engagement and the dinner that night because he's doing a video.
Yeah. So
Really excited to
Trucker
see that.
even thought ahead and hired a photographer for the entire day.
Yeah.
Like this guy just followed us around everywhere.
Yep.
On her day.
Met
so
us at the restaurant.
it was kind of cool.
Yeah.
And here's the other thing about the weather. We'd been watching the weather like a hawk because we're worried about bad weather and this and that. It was great weather.
Well, not
It was-
every day. There
yeah,
was a
but you
couple
were there
of
7 days.
Yeah, there was a couple of really downpours, really strong downpours, but I took umbrellas and we were okay.
Yeah. Well, the time Alejandro and I were there, I mean, it worked out.
You guys didn't get any rain?
Barely. There was like
there
rain
was-
for like an hour one night, and it was just dribbles. It wasn't even
Oh.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad.
wasn't too bad.
We got a couple of really good downpours.
So the nice thing about our hotel that I booked was the Edison, and I'll just give you a quick review of it. It's an old mafia Italian styled feel hotel. And as a matter of fact, somebody told me that they had filmed a scene from The Godfather in that hotel. But literally couldn't remember. I wasn't oriented to exactly where the hotel was in relation to Times Square. You walk out the front door, take 15 steps, and you're in the middle of Times Square. It was truly amazing.
Yeah.
And then you were very close.
Yeah, we were in walking distance to everything except the Life and Trust. We did have to
Yeah, we did the subway.
do the subway to that one because it was far. And we also did the 9/11 memorial with a walking tour, and that one was really far away as well.
Well, that's down there by Wall Street too.
Yeah.
Downtown. So what were your thoughts overall of the city? And
Well, I had been before, but it was Trucker's first time, and he absolutely fell in love with it. He's
Yeah.
like, we will be back.
yeah, I
So-
agree.
And everybody says the most magical time is to go during Christmas. But I just wonder how freaking cold it's going to be
Well,
during Christmas.
when Madison and I went in 2020, we went like January 2nd. Now it was just after the New Year's, just after Christmas, but they still had all the Christmas stuff up. And we were like worried it was going to be deathly cold. I mean, we just bundled up and we did a 5-hour walking tour. It was amazing. We did a bike ride through Central Park. It was amazing. So even in January, got to see a lot. And of course, the skating rinks and all the music and the lights and all the trees were still up. So you still got to experience all the Christmas stuff just after Christmas. So I'd recommend that too.
And if you ever need a party planner, hit up the Blue Eyed Princess because she goes big.
Oh, she did.
does.
Between her and Trucker and the concierge at our hotel, wow, it was so impressive.
Okay, Alejandra.
What's up?
You had never been to New York City and you were so excited to
I feel like
have
I
this
only
experience.
was able to see like 3% of New York.
Oh, not even that. But your thoughts from what you saw and what we did?
Oh, it was mesmerizing. I kept looking up on the buildings.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, whoa, like I just couldn't believe I was there. But my favorite part was being surrounded by friends and being able to experience such a beautiful love story with Lilly and Trucker.
Yeah.
So
How funny was it when we're in Times Square and it's like 12:30 at night or 1 o'clock in the morning and it was hustle and bustle. Like
it was.
people sleep in New York.
I'm like, what time is it right now?
I'd be like, whoa,
It's unbelievable.
there's
They never
tens
stop.
of thousands of people just walking, and you have to be careful you don't get run over
So
by people, not by cars.
Yeah.
By both.
on Monday we're leaving, but we didn't leave until 4:30. And you guys were having breakfast at Tiffany's and she wanted to do some shopping. So we finally had an opportunity to ourselves to kind of roam the streets and go shopping. That was pretty interesting. The cool thing is you can just pick a street and walk up it. There, it's on a grid system. It's very easy to figure out. But we found some really amazing shops. She got into the Skims shop.
Oh, yes. It's
Yeah.
Kim Kardashian's store.
And what's interesting in New York City, you know, we're not telling people who live there anything new, but to us, it's just interesting. You like a Target, you're just going to go straight up. Like you're going to have multiple floors. Instead of like here, you got Target, it's like one level in Arizona. But in New York City, everything has multiple floors. So we go to the Skim store, and there's like 5-6 levels.
Yeah.
in
Same
there.
with Victoria's Secret.
Victoria's Secret had multiple levels. We go into Tiffany's. How cool was that? You were on the 6th level having breakfast, Lily.
That is a beautiful place. Just everything looks like a storybook in there.
Yeah.
So much sparkly things to mesmerize you.
Right. Right. Now, Lily, had you been to Central Park before?
I had.
Okay.
Yeah. Many, many years ago. And I'd never done the carriage ride.
Yeah.
So that was really fun and a cool way to do it.
Mm-hmm. So here's the other funny thing. When you come out from a play or a musical, they've got all those, what do you call them, carts, carriages that want to...
Oh, the little bike ones?
Trolley,
bike trolleys.
to take you back to your hotel or your restaurant or wherever you're going. And they're all competing for business and they're all blasting music. What's the number one song we heard the whole time we were there?
What's the name of it?
Alicia Keys.
Oh, yeah.
New York,
Yeah.
New York.
Uh-huh.
That's what dreams are made of. I'm a terrible singer, sorry guys. But that song is blasting through New York nonstop all the time. Or Taylor Swift's version. She has a New York song too.
Can you sing it?
No, I'm not singing it. We were able to experience some famous pizza places. Pizza by the Slice was really good. We stood in line at Joe's Pizza.
Right.
Alejandra and I did.
Well, you did.
Well, yeah, you sat over there while I stood in line, did the dirty work.
Yep.
I heard it wasn't worth the hype.
It was pretty good. Was it good?
It was good, but it wasn't like, whoa.
It's just
it was
one of
the
those
best pizza.
iconic things.
Yeah.
It was good, though.
Well, I think it got famous from TikTok.
Maybe.
I think so.
There was a line the whole time we were there. Line down the street
Yeah.
to get in there. And then we went to Ray's Pizza. Now, Ray's is mentioned, I think, in the movie Elf. Oh, here's the funny thing, too. To me, I've watched the movie Elf so many times, and of course, it's set in New York City. So I'm seeing landmarks or I'm seeing things from the movie Elf, and I'm pointing them out to her. I'm like, oh, because we went through the Lincoln Tunnel. And Elf walked through the Lincoln Tunnel to get to New York. And, you know, you still see those subway tiles, same ones in Lincoln Tunnel, just all down Lincoln Tunnel. And so I recognized immediately. And then, you know, there's the bridge in Central Park where they had the snowball fight, you know. And
Did you guys walk to that?
I did. She was, what were you doing? You were doing your
We were
hair or
doing our
something.
makeup and
You were doing
yeah,
your
yeah.
makeup, and then I end up just walking down there.
I didn't know if you
by
made
myself.
it. That's why I sent you that picture when we were on our
Yeah.
carriage ride.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Well, it's really fun. And just,
I don't think I've seen that picture.
I sent it just to him because he's so obsessed. I'll send it to you too.
Okay.
I mean, it's not that dramatic or impressive, except for that's where the snowball fight
Yeah,
was.
yeah.
Okay.
yeah. But yeah, I definitely want to go back to New York. Like Alejandro said, we didn't even experience 1% of it. I know you wanted to go to the Empire State Building.
Yes.
We didn't get a chance to go in there. That was pretty impressive looking, though, just seeing it. There's just so much to do. I'd like to take her down to Chinatown, Little Italy, Soho, just different places. But
Didn't have a lot of time.
no, I mean, our time was revolved around you and your birthday celebration, which that was most important to us. But yeah. So I guess people do get married
You guess.
to their sugar daddies.
I guess they do. And I guess love is in the air because we've had other people make commitments. I actually have an engagement day twin who has been on our show before.
Elena
Elena from
out of Chicago.
Yeah, she saw that I posted on social media that the day we got engaged, and she goes, "Oh my gosh, I guess we're engagement twins because I just got engaged to Maui."
Yeah.
Her sugar daddy that she nicknamed Maui because their first trip together was to Maui.
Yeah. Her episode is 114. It was a really good episode. I remember she came on the show. I'll never forget it. She came on the show, never been on a podcast. And Lily and I are just looking at her like, you are owning this thing.
She was a natural.
Absolute natural. It's
so
a great
well
episode.
spoken,
Yeah.
such a good storyteller.
Yeah.
Yes.
So she got
And
engaged.
now she's found her happily ever after.
Oh.
All right. Now, I know the burning question that you get now all the time. Just clear it up for us. Is there a wedding date?
No. I'm still on cloud 9 from the proposal. I'm just ready to ride that wave for a while. And, we got plenty of time to figure out.
Yeah.
We'll probably do a destination wedding somewhere.
I mean, you guys already live together. So
Yeah.
now it's just a matter of making it official.
Yeah,
but
now we just need to go, okay. There's a lot of different types of weddings we could do. There are a lot of different places we could go. And I think we both agree we'd like to have a destination wedding.
I think you should this is my personal opinion. You've both been down this road before. You don't need the big hype wedding.
No.
You just need something special and intimate, either with a small amount of family and friends or just on your own.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
Yeah.
I don't want it to be, because in retrospect, this planning of this amazing engagement was highly stressful for Trucker.
Oh, it was. What was it, like 6 months in the planning?
Yeah, probably. It must have been. And I don't want the wedding to be that. I want it to just be low key, relaxed, sentimental, and no stress. I don't want anybody to be stressed. So we'll see. We'll see what we can come up with.
Well, we have really enjoyed watching you guys. It's so fun reminiscing. The other day, we had dinner with a sugar daddy. And if you're in town, if you're a sugar baby, sugar daddy, and you want to meet us, we'd love to go to dinner. And
We're going to dinner anyway.
yeah, we're going to
So-
dinner. We'd love for you to join us. And it happens a lot, and it'll continue to happen, I hope. But we had a sugar daddy who we hadn't talked to yet. He's actually a sponsor of the party, and he's coming, and he just wanted to meet us
And he's
and chat with us.
sometimes local, sometimes from out of town, but he was a joy to visit with.
Absolutely.
And-
super intelligent, very entrepreneurial, and then adventurous.
Yeah.
And some of the things that he told, like I'm telling you, when I get these comments that say we're just a bunch of pathetic losers, these people have no idea
No.
of the quality people that we run into that I would have never had the opportunity of meeting.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
He was really great. We go in and Trucker's like, okay, let's not give too many details about my identity, because this is a guy who's local and he doesn't know if they might run in some of the same circles. And Trucker's also protective of his identity. He's like, "No, let's not give too many personal details about my business or background." And then the next thing I know, Trucker's telling him his whole life story.
Well, he felt comfortable with it.
They hit it off. They had so much in common. They were so comfortable. The two of them could have hung out all night without us even being there, because
Well, the funny thing is-
had so much to talk about.
Trucker's 63, I'm 57, and this guy was right in the middle.
Yeah.
So we all have some commonalities. He kind of related to Trucker in a lot of things, and then there's things that he related to me in. So it was a great
I hope we can get
conversation.
him to come on the show. He'd be a great guest.
Yeah.
He has an interesting story.
But where I was going with it is, of course, we start reminiscing on how you and Trucker even came into being. And it's just so fun talking about it because we just shake our heads going, wow, this world is a crazy place.
Who would have thunk it?
Who would have thunk it? That's right.
With that Trucker, he just grows on you.
He does.
Well, I'll tell you
Plants a
what.
seed in your heart and it grows into a
he's looking
beautiful
better
flower.
Now that you did the makeover on him, he's looking better than ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does. He looks at least
Yeah.
7 years younger.
At least.
Now, men, do not be afraid, like I was and like Trucker was.
Shave your head.
Don't be afraid to do a little makeover. As we get older, we still try to hold on to our youth, and I did that for a long time. And I just didn't want to shave the rest of the little hairs that I had. I didn't want to grow a beard because I still kind of had a little baby face, and I didn't want to look too old. Women love that stuff. They like an older guy. Don't be afraid.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid.
Well, and ironically, I think Trucker looks younger,
I do too.
not necessarily older. He's just got that really sophisticated look now with his bald head and his manicured mustache and goatee. And
because we pull up pictures of him at the Taylor Swift concert, which is the first concert that he attended. And then we show him pictures of him now.
Two complete different people.
It wouldn't even, you wouldn't recognize that that's the same guy.
yeah.
Yet here he is 2 years older.
Yeah.
Oh.
He looks great.
Yeah.
You're listening to Secrets of a Sugar Daddy. Now back to the show with your host, Mark.
Hi, this is Dave Musial, owner of Four Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, Plumbing, and Electric. Do you have a plumbing emergency? Call Four Seasons. An electrical emergency? Call Four Seasons. A heating or cooling emergency? Call Four Seasons. Same-day hot water tank installation needed? Call Four Seasons. Need a whole home generator? Call Four Seasons. We guarantee same-day installation on all heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical needs. And no extra charge for nights, weekends, or holidays.
For all the right reasons, call 866-4 Seasons.
Marcus.
So that's our advice. If you guys ever want, you men and women, but if you men want some good tips and you want to ask Lily and Alejandra, hey, what do you think I can do to freshen my look up? We'll be happy to tell you.
Yeah.
We'll be happy to give you
For
advice.
sure.
Because we want you to be successful. Yes, you're getting the opportunity to meet these women by using your cheat code, but you got to keep them. And women like a guy with style. And we've met some great, great men, but they're kind of lacking in some departments. And some of them aren't so willing to try to change. And we're just like, oh, if you just do this and this, man, you'd be Johnny on the block. Man,
Even
I'm
more
telling you.
appealing.
Yeah, even more appealing. And, you know, and women, just like men, they want to be seen with people that they're proud of.
Yeah.
And that they can say, huh, my guy is so hot,
Yep.
you know?
That's right.
So don't be afraid. We'll give you our advice. You can take it, you can dump it, but we'll be happy to give you advice. And I'm telling you, I did not take the news very well from Madison when she looked at me and gave it to me in the worst delivery ever. When she looked at my hair, pointed at it and says, this has got to go. I was like, damn. Like, what's so bad about it? Anyway, now I'm very thankful that she did, but I didn't take it well at the time.
Yeah. Okay. We don't have much time left. How is this open relationship going?
Well, funny you ask, because that's one of the things I want to talk about is I want to talk about going on a vanilla date. I finally went on my first vanilla date.
And
off
how
of
long?
Hinge.
Second,
Who else was it?
Bumble Girl.
I didn't go out with a Bumble girl.
This was a few months ago. This is your first Hinge date.
Well, I went on my first Hinge date. She went on a Hinge date the same night that I went on a Hinge date.
Did you guys know that was going to happen?
Yeah. We
Oh.
know. We know.
Yeah.
We let each other know. It's a completely different conversation. I know that already going into it, but when you experience it, it's just, I felt like I could not be me. It's the weirdest thing. I felt like there was things I could not divulge. There was subjects I did not want to approach. There's topics I just like, I better not go there. On a seeking date, I don't care. I'll talk about anything.
It's a free for all.
I just really feel more comfortable there. And I don't know, maybe it's because I feel like I have control of the relationship because I'm the one doing the compensating. And I'm like, hey, I'm paying you to be here. You're going to listen to me. No, I don't have that pompous attitude, but maybe that's the feeling that I get.
I think maybe there is a role reversal because when you are a female and you go on a seeking date, it's like you're on a job interview.
Right.
But when you're a male and you go on a regular vanilla date,
You're trying to win that girl over. You want to scare her.
It's almost like the role is reversed and now the male is on a job interview.
Because she showed me her Hinge unread messages. I took a screenshot of it. 2001 unread messages.
Wow.
When I say to these haters in the comments, the reason that many of us are doing sugar dating, and it doesn't apply to everybody, but the most of us, because we're trying to get through the noise. How do I get through 2,000 messages? How do I get her attention? You know, how do I make it worth her while? Well, the way is to sugar date. Alejandra, how was it for you on your Hinge date? Did you feel the same way, or how'd you feel when you went on yours?
I didn't even have the time. My date just kept talking and talking and talking. So I just let him talk.
So he was trying to be interesting, not interested.
Oh, yeah.
He failed
We
miserably.
talked so much about his cars and, I mean.
And he was
pretty
wealthy
much
too, right?
Oh, he was very wealthy.
He was just trying to impress you the whole time?
Yes. And it was not working. I left that date because I've been on dates in the past, vanilla and just seeking as well, where even if I know romantically or chemistry is not there, I can still leave knowing that I
at least had a good conversation.
Yeah, I learned something about that person because of a story they went through or where they're at now. I didn't learn anything from him.
You just heard him brag about his material.
His cars, yes.
Wealth.
And I don't know much about cars, so I was just like, oh, really?
Yeah, he talked about a subject that she really just is not interested about.
And he was wanting to become very touchy. And I'm a very affectionate person, so I love it. But it takes time for me to be comfortable and let a man touch me.
Yes.
And he wanted to do it immediately. And I'm like, whoa. Like, you're not compensating me.
Doesn't that creep you out when a guy gets all handsy right away?
Yes, even on seeking dates.
I don't
like,
any type of date.
I don't
Men
even
don't do
like
that.
to sit side by side for a first date or a meet and greet. I like to sit across and have a conversation and have eye contact and not have them trying to touch me. We had one girl who messaged us, and I don't remember who she was or where, but she said she had a guy on their very first meet and greet try to finger her on their meet and greet.
No.
And she was like, yeah, I've had some really appalling stories, but yeah.
That's bold.
That is
imagine?
very,
yeah, that gives me the ick.
And guys,
I would have been like, let me get the hell out of here right now.
I've been on plenty of meet and greets where there was really no sexual chemistry. It was just a matter of getting to know that person and get comfortable with the person. And I thought, I don't know about this one. And then I've gone on the second date and they're all over me. So let it happen. You don't have to force it.
No.
Right? And then, a third or fourth date, you're having wild sex and you're like, wow, I didn't see that coming. Just let it happen. Do not force it. You may think that this is a really sexual girl, and she may be, but you got to let things happen organically. You can't force
and be your genuine self.
Yeah.
Don't try to be so impressive and interesting. Just be who you really are, because that's more impressive than anything else. Because if you feel like somebody is being genuine, they're being real with you, and you're getting to know the real person, things are going to develop a lot faster than if you're trying to be a showman.
Mm-hmm.
A lot faster and a lot deeper.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. So anyway, I'll wrap up with my Hinge date. She was absolutely as advertised, looked exactly like her pictures, fit. We looked at her Instagram together, Alejandra and I did. She looked absolutely stunning. But again, like Alejandra's date, she talked the whole time. And I never really even had a chance to interact, which I'm fine with that. But it was so one-sided that I don't know. And then I just didn't feel like calling her back. And here's the crazy thing. I never even had an opportunity to tell her about Alejandra, about our relationship, about the dynamic of it. Never even came up. It's so different, too, in a Hinge date. And then she found me on Instagram and started following me. watching my stories. And I have pictures of Alejandra. I have recent ones of her and I in New York.
Right.
So she's got to be wondering, what is this guy all about? But we haven't talked about it, but she did press the follow button. So, and my pictures they're public. They're not private.
Has she reached out to you?
No, we have not talked, but she did mention, she did say at the end, hey, I'd love to see you again or whatever. Right.
Yeah.
But
I'm
I
very
just haven't.
surprised she hasn't reached out to you after she saw your Instagram.
Yeah.
I would have said something. Why are you on a dating site if you have a girlfriend already?
Right. So we'll update you if anything comes about of that. I wouldn't mind seeing her again. I mean, she certainly was a looker and age appropriate, but it's just so different. I mean, I just had no desire to go forward after the first date. No burning desire. Now, if I wasn't sugar dating, oh man, I would be trying really hard to get another date with her. And then I would come off probably a little bit desperate.
Yeah.
But I'm not. So it's nice. I control that.
Are you a control freak, sir?
I am not a control freak, but it's sure nice not to have the scarcity mindset. Whereas I did, when I was younger. All right, we got to wrap up.
We do.
Okay.
We may have gone over.
Well, we would love to hear your crazy sugar dating stories. And if you're getting engaged or have gotten engaged or gotten married, we love hearing those stories because they just solidify what we're saying is that real relationships do form through this style of dating. It's not prostitution. It's not a bunch of losers, pathetic people who can't get women. It's just dating up. And Lily has certainly found a man that, not to put your other relationships down, but definitely he is the cream of the crop.
Oh,
He is.
And
supersedes any person I've ever dated
Yeah.
in my entire life.
And you just never, after 3 failed marriages, you just thought, I don't know if my person's out there.
Yeah, I was starting to wonder.
But you just
Luckily,
kept at it.
I was willing to kiss all those frogs.
Yeah.
Yeah, speaking of kissing frogs, there's something really sad that I haven't shared yet.
Uh-oh.
Oh, right.
So one of my first, I'm going to call him a sugar daddy, although he wasn't a sugar daddy in the traditional sense, but one of the first guys I met off of Seeking told me he was 65. Come to find out later, he was really 75. And we dated a little bit, not very successfully, but we stayed friends. He helped me out in a lot of ways, but he was never one that was ever going to do PPM or allowance or anything, but he would buy you nice gifts or want to take you on trips. And our personalities didn't click. He wanted more than I was willing to give. He's the one who offered me $2.5 million if I'd be his girlfriend for 5 years. And he was going to give me his property in East Mesa and some stocks and bonds. And I said, I can't. I'm not comfortable doing that. I can't commit to that. Anyway, I would hear from him probably once a month or once every other month. He would check up on me or I would check up on him. And I realized just after the holidays, I haven't heard from him since like Thanksgiving or right before Christmas. And so I reached out to him. I said, hey, how in the heck are you? And he didn't answer me. And so I'm like, oh no, I wonder if something has happened. And so I'm like, okay, just to put myself at peace of mind, I Googled his name and obituary and it popped right up. So yeah, my little old man passed away.
Yeah, that's very
in
sad.
January.
I've experienced something similar with a sugar baby. I reached out. She didn't answer. And I'm like, wait a minute, that's unusual.
Yeah.
And I found out that she'd passed away too.
Yeah. I mean, he was 78.
Yeah, I got
he had so
opportunity
much
to meet him.
going for him.
Alejandra talked with him too online.
He was in a really good place and I'm just still sad about it.
Yeah. Well, let's dedicate this episode to Lily's little old man.
Okay.
Wow, yes.
Yeah.
Done.
That's a fitting ending.
My poor little old man.
Yeah. We talked about him a lot.
We have talked
He
about
was
him a lot.
He was a big fan of the show.
Oh, yes, he was.
He was a supporter on Patreon. So, yeah, it's very sad that you found out that way. But we come and we go eventually.
I know
but
it.
you had the opportunity to have that experience, which definitely was one for the books too.
Oh, sure was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
I'll
right.
never forget him.
All right. Well, thanks to the little old man who made our lives interesting. This was early in your sugar dating lifestyle, and so we're going to miss him. Alejandra, thanks for joining us. It was a pleasure seeing you.
Thank you.
Thanks for going to New York.
Oh, that was a blast.
Unbelievable time.
Yes. Thank you
go
guys
again.
for being there for me. That was
Oh.
really, really very thoughtful.
And for
you
all
guys to do that.
the friends from our podcast who showed up,
Yeah,
there was quite a few.
So many. Shout out to
Yeah.
Kimmy. Shout out to Blue Eyed Princess. Shout out to Podcast Vanboy. Shout out to Queen Lilith.
Yeah.
Shout out to Jay. Shout out to
Hazel.
I'll fix it.
We're going to miss somebody. I know. But
Is that everyone?
I think that was most everybody. All right.
And shout out to Bowie,
Oh, the dog?
Queen Lilith's dog,
Yeah.
Bowie. His podcast name is Bowie.
All right. Well, we will keep you updated on future adventures, and hopefully we will be seeing you at Sugarpalooza 6. So we still have room. Get those applications in now before it's too late, and we're still accepting sponsors. And you're going to, I think we're going to have about at least 20 sponsors there.
That's going to be fun.
Oh,
Yeah.
the most ever.
Yeah.
And which allows us to make this just a party to remember. They're all to remember, but it's, the more sponsors we get, just the better and more exciting things we can add to the party, which is really cool, which everything costs money. So
I actually have an idea too, but I want it to be a surprise. So I'll ask you off air.
oh, well, way to leave it at that. Okay. We got to go. Talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us. If you'd like to connect or even be on the show, we'd love to hear from you at secretsofasugardaddy.com.